These CL215Ts hold 1,412 gallons of water. They can fill their tanks in roughly 10 to 12 seconds on an open body of water. They're reinforced holes to hit the water at, roughly 100 miles an hour to fill those tanks.
These CL215Ts, or CL415 EAFs, are among the fleet of planes fighting fires now in California. These so-called super scoopers are built specifically for aerial firefighting, and they're designed to pound fires over and over with water, replenishing their massive tanks while still in motion.
They can continuously scoop and drop water for roughly 4 to 5 hours on a tank of fuel, and so they can drop a few 100,000 gallons of water a day per scooper, depending on how far the water source is. We can go, hundreds of miles into the backcountry to fight fires where you just can't get to in a matter of minutes.
Montana-based company Bridger Aerospace gave CNN a tour inside one of their firefighting aircrafts currently in Southern California, battling the most destructive wildfires in the area's history.
So when we come inside, people will see it for the first time. They'll often say, oh, there's so much room inside. And what they need to remember is that the airplane was designed around these water tanks. This is all 6 tons of water right here. And this is what the airplane was designed around, and this is exactly how much airplane it takes to move that. Something prominent here is the life raft. You have to remember we are a boat. We're equipped as such with life rafts, jackets, anchors, lines, all the usual boat pieces as well.
Bridger is the largest private owner-operator of scoopers in the world. We have 6 of the 10 here in the U.S. We can and have operated in Canada. They have a lot of provincial fleets there, and they're a lot based in Europe. In the U.S., they never have been. In California specifically, I think with all the publicity, we're getting a lot of interest as people see what they can do, scooping water off the ocean and in kind of tight places.
Company reps say their mission is to provide aerial support to firefighters on the ground, with the hope that the super scoopers become a more accessible tool across the U.S. against an increasing number of wildfires.
We're looking for kind of that unmet need and something that we think is best positioned for that. Having the opportunity to show what we're capable of and put these things to the test has been very critical.
And as multiple fires continue to rage on in the Los Angeles area, the super scoopers have become a welcome sight to residents and firefighters alike.
If this happened in July or August, it would still be catastrophic and unprecedented. We've never seen this in a heavily populated area like LA. To have it happen in January is just absolutely, shocking. A wake-up call, I think, to us, to the whole country, that fire season isn't really a thing anymore. It's year-round, and the devastation is just terrible.
It's been a week and a day since fires across the Los Angeles area broke out, and a week since we watched this neighborhood right here in Altadena, this intersection, Harriet Street and Glen Avenue, destroyed. We're less than an hour away from today's red flag warning expiring. The winds have not caused the trouble it was feared they might today, and that is great news. Cooler, more humid conditions are forecast for the next several days. More good news. This is giving crews more breathing room, literally, more time to do what they've been doing for several days now, combing over hot spots, extinguishing smoldering roots under the ground, and clearing anything from those areas that might reignite. Also ongoing, search operations here in Altadena and elsewhere for any human remains that haven't been found. LA County Sheriff said those may finish in Altadena by the end of this week. Damage assessments also still underway, and LA County Deputy Fire Chief says damage assessments are about 30% so far. In all, close to 38,000 acres have burned in the biggest wildfires, the Eden Fire here, the Palisades Fire on the other side of the county. Now, in a moment, one of the residents of this block we'll talk to, but first, we want to show you some of this neighborhood to you, some of this intersection, because this is the exact corner where we spent about 8 hours exactly 1 week ago today. We want to show you what it looked like then, what it looked like before, and what it looks like now. This is what the southwest corner of Harriet Street and Glen Avenue looks like now. I want to show you what it looked like exactly 1 week ago.
So this vehicle went up about 5 or 10 minutes ago. This house has been burning now for quite some time, but the fire is now spread on this block. We're at the corner, we're at Harriet in Altadena, Harriet Street. The fire has spread now to this house, which is really now engulfed in flames. But I mean, it's just surreal. I mean, look at this, even a small thing like this tree is burning from the inside. So on this block, I count 1, 2, I mean, all the houses on this side are gone. Now the fire, look, this house is engulfed. It's very much likely that this house will be next because these winds are now just whipping onto this house.
This is what that house used to look like. This is what it looks like now. The house and trees on the southwest corner of the intersection used to look like this. Here's what it looked like 1 week ago. This house has been burning now for quite some time. We've been watching. It has just spread to that tree. I don't know if you can see. The entire tree is just incinerated in seconds. But the important part is look at all these embers. All these embers in the trees, they're now going through the air. They're now flying down the block to a number of houses which have not yet burned. And those embers, now look, those embers have caught in that tree. Whoa, okay. This is what's left of that corner now. There were 2 vibrant palm trees and several cypress trees on the southwest side of Harriet Street before the fire. This is what happened here a week ago.
Those embers made those trees go on fire. I don't know if you can see through the smoke. Behind the palm trees, there are now these very tall vertical trees. I don't know much about shrubbery. I don't know what they're called, but they're huge, tall trees. They are now just like flames shooting up into the air. This second house now, I mean, that is just gone. That car, I believe that's the explosion we heard a short time ago that I recorded. Look at all these embers. Just, I don't know if you can pan up, but look at all these embers just flying up. You see them in the smoke. All of that. The winds are a little, or have died down here, but those can just get picked up by winds for miles. This is what the section of Harriet Street looks like right now. There are power company folks trying to restore lines, which is certainly a good sign. But these are the palm trees that are still standing. Palm trees are really hardy. I'm not clear if these will actually make it, but they're very hardy. They do have a thick bark and said to have high moisture levels, and a number of them did seem to survive, so we'll see about that. But all the houses here have been destroyed. On the northwest side of Harriet Street, a number of houses did not burn, even the house here on the corner, but Brenda Mata's house did burn, and it was one of the last houses on this part of Harriet Street to burn. This is the house she loved before the fire. I spoke with Brenda a week ago, moments after she arrived and saw what happened.
This is our retirement. This is our nest egg. This is where we moved in when we got married. This is where our son was born. This was our house, and this was what we worked for.
This is what's left of Brenda's house now. More than 7,000 structures burned in Altadena. It's hard to imagine the scale of it from the ground. Far in the sky, a satellite image shows what this corner, Harriet and Glen, and the surrounding streets used to look like. This is now what remains.